folks. I'm in a hotel room here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm here for the Major League Fishing Expo. They actually branded it Red Crest. I don't know what Red Crest means, but anyhow, I've got my booth set up, except for one thing. And what I got back from setting up the Torpedo booth at this package, and I kind of stopped shy of totally opening it up, but I'm gonna do a little bit of tackle organization redo because I got something pretty cool here. All right, right off the bat, this is more lightweight than what I've been working with. So it's really my first look at this thing. I'm gonna get into really setting up the new BlackPak. BlackPak Pro, I think, is what its real name is. I'm gonna I grabbed some of my tackle boxes. Got my jerkbaits. You don't think I like jerkbaits too much, do you? Like, man can never have too many Lucky Craft jerkbaits. Terminal tackle box, and this is sort of a catch-all that has everything, because I fish such a diverse array of fisheries. I got everything from trap magnets to deep diving crankbaits and spoons and all manner of stuff in there. Got my plug knockers. So that much I'm going to reorganize into using these Plano Edge tackle boxes. I think this one's going to be my terminal tackle. This one I think is going to be all of my crankbaits. I'm going to condense. Believe it or not, I actually have to condense to fit in there. And then this will be, you know, my jackhammers and other jigs, and I don't know if I get a couple spinnerbaits in there. We'll see. So when I first started to mess with this one-handed, I didn't quite figure it out right away. But these are really tough snaps that are really going to secure what you've got there. And the hinge, even when you bring it up just a little bit, it's, you know, it's got some staying power. Unlike the old one, that you lift it and it wants to just flop wherever. You know, you go back and it would just kind of go all the way back and hide behind you and be hard to get back over. This has the hinge with a little bit of tension that keeps it open, which is very cool. But that's a lot of security. So if you flip your kayak, you're not losing all that stuff, or whatever you're putting in there, it's staying in there. Let's look at the bungees on the side. Looks like you got a little clip here for securing your rods in there so that they're not going anywhere. I guess more tie-down straps. I don't know. There's a lot going on here, and I don't think I've fully comprehended everything that's here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read up on the literature that John Hipsher sent me, along with some videos he's done. But it shows, you know, what you can fit in there. But I'm going to demonstrate it. That's a lot of Plano 3600s in there. We'll see. It's a lot going on there. So I'll get into this. I'll get into rigging and reorganizing the tackle that I do have into the Plano Edge tackle boxes, and we'll take a look at it at the end after I've played with this a while. It's a good fun afternoon project for me in the hotel. All right, after my jerkbait box in there, along with the finesse jig box, that's always going to be with me. These I can pull a couple out and put in these in this one. We'll see. You know, this is the 3700 size, so is that one, the bladed jig Plano Edge box. So you can see you can stack a whole bunch of them that way, or you can do the 3600 size upright. So how many of those can you get? Either way, you know, they certainly did their homework. You know, on these sizes, unlike the old BlackPak where it had the, you know, the overlay and you had to kind of fiddle with it to get it in there. I'm going to start with this Plano Edge Flex, and I'm going to grab my current terminal tackle little flambeau box here and convert that over. It just, you know, it's just how things go. That when I start putting things in here, I never take anything out, and I want to say there are things in here that don't necessarily get the workout that they used to, but man, it's tough. It's tough digging through all that and not having pulling one thing out. I'm gonna try this. Oh, I actually did it. Pulling one thing out and actually getting it. But you get what I'm saying. Usually when you go digging for something, you know, that's more like it. That's what usually happens. So I'm gonna get these little dividers here and sit there and fill this up, and hopefully it'll be a little more organized. I'll move on to the other one. All right, I just kind of spilled it all out and started making piles, and it's interesting to me that, you know, my drop shot weights are pretty sparse, and then I have other things like the rigging bullets that I have a lot of. I use them both, but it's interesting to, you know, go from Ned heads to shaky head to, you know, to these guys that I make in the do it mold. And you know, the grip pin hook pile is, I gotta clean up some of these trout eye jig heads. I got all my tungsten bullet weights there, the bobber stops and beads and stuff. So, you know, it's a it's a work in progress. Right now I'm gonna sort these, each of these by size, and give each one, you know, their own little slot. See how this kind of snaps into place. I think you get the little beveled edge up high to make room for that, the lid edge. Somehow this was easy to do without holding the camera. But got a, you know, slot for everything with this flex box. So I can get my grooves lined up there. Okay. These housekeepers are gonna love me. All right, you ready for this transformation from having everything crammed in there? Oh, I got a straggler bead. As soon as I moved that, you go there. So let me turn the camera angle down a little bit and I'll show you without spilling this. So we got big grip pin hooks. Those are for my topwater frogs, the Elaztech, the goat toads. The smaller size of the grip pins, these aren't really small, but they're not the beastly ones that are really thick that I can rip fish out of vegetation. The finesse rigging bullets in the smallest size, the next size up. Some wacky rig weedless hooks and some drop shot hooks and weights, pro rigging bullets in different sizes. These swim bait hooks, I think they're called the chin locks. And then I got Ned heads that are small, and Ned heads that are heavier. I really like using these. These are the Trout Eye jig heads. Throw a diesel minnow on that thing. Catches fish anywhere, freshwater, saltwater. Tungsten bullet weights of all sizes, and then bobber stop, which is really just used to peg the tungsten bullet weights, and then there's beads there. I like to put a bead out in front of a grip pin hook, soft plastic, when bringing it through the through the spatter dock on the tidal Potomac, or really anywhere there's vegetation. It has less grass snagging right on the leading edge of that if you put just a little glass bead in front. All right, I'm pleased with that transformation. I'll be pleased if I can close this too. You know, it's still the case of I'm cramming too much stuff in a tight spot, and then I'll get the hang of this. Come on. What is keeping me from closing this? Maybe I didn't use the right dividers there. No, that worked. All right, now it's in there. Good. This one is gonna be harder. Harder decisions. I will tell you, part of it is that I don't just bass fish or just go for redfish or speckled trout or anything, striper, whatever. I fish for so many different species, and having something in here for everything, man, this is an everything box. It's not a soft plastics box, but it is for sure catch-all. But maybe I'll start with, I'll ignore this top level, which is truly kind of multi-species everything, and I'll just focus on some crankbaits. There's a lot of stuff in here. So I got some wake baits in here, some deep diving crankbaits, some really deep diving crankbaits, some little square bills, some, these. I love these. These are the best. Some clipless rattle baits. There's some jerk baits. These little johns are awesome. Got some top water, more of those. Some of these jointed swim baits you can't get anymore. Man, that is a fish catching thing. Everything, but I'm not gonna be able to fit all of it in here. Even if I did no dividers, all of that is not gonna fit in there. So let's prioritize. Let's do a lane for some jerk baits. Let's see how that goes. Move from there. This is like picking a basketball team with all of the all-stars from all time, and you got to pick the best of the best, and that's my Jordan. It's a Pointer 100 in Aurora Green Perch. Who else do we have in there? So, this Pointer 112 MR in Ghost Minnow. Oh, I don't know. That may be my Kobe. You get what I'm saying. And you know, I couldn't be a University of Maryland fan without pulling out the Len Bias, even though he never made it to play for the Celtics. But anyhow, it's, you know, there's probably, and I gotta get some deep divers in there too. There's probably 30 of them in there. and I gotta pick a dozen. Yeah, that's it. I do need, what do I need? I need a, I just need one. Yep, I need a chartreuse shad. Happens to be a deep diver. That's okay. This guy. This one. Right there. Alright. Now move on to what? Deep diving crankbaits. So I am cleaning these up, getting rid of the line. It's funny, I can tell by how scratched up these are. Look at that. That's a DT10. Look at the haziness on that bill. That thing has pinged off a lot of stuff. That hook's bent. This one's a really good clear water shad imitator. It's got enough flash, but it's the same color as that kind of like light green water that it's in. When you get into some muddier water, here's another DT10. You get that blue back and chartreuse. Get a couple of those in there. I don't even know where I got this one, but it's a good one for. I better find out because I use it a good bit. It's a good one for where you have panfish. It's kind of a bluegill looking. Although he's not a deep diver, I'm going to set him aside. This is a Spro. It's like Little John, but it's the big one, and he's got a good. I like that one knocker that's in there. That's a good bait. You can't find these anymore. I forget what they call these. Lure Jensen makes them. They got a crazy looking bill. Good crayfish. You know, not real flashy. It's definitely a crustacean. But this thing gets, you know, if you want to get down to, you know, I don't know, 26 feet, this thing will get down there. Got some of the old live target ones that also get deep. That crayfish crankbait with a huge bill. Can't find them anymore. Again, more deep diving. This one's, what is this, a Warden's? I've used this a couple times on Lake Marburg. That big bill. And let's see, that may be about it. Yeah, I got one more of those Spro deep divers. You're going in there. All right, let's take a look at what I got, and we're gonna talk a little bit about lipless rattlebaits. I'll just go through this. Jerkbait, deep diving crankbait, medium diving crankbait, and there's some square bills in here, and then these three here are just, you know, either shallow diving, medium, or deep for that particular bait. But this guy right here, and you've seen videos where I've shown how to put the skirt onto the belly treble, and what that does is it absolutely, as it's moving, that skirt tucks up under here where the claws usually ride. When a crayfish is fleeing, it kind of keeps the claws kind of tucked under it and kind of behind, and it just looks right. This one, I got a couple whopper ploppers. I got the jointed these jointed swim baits, and somewhere down in there I got these cool little riser baits. Those little guys, they got a upturned bill that they just kind of I kind of do this on the surface like a dying minnow would. And there are times where you absolutely need something like that that's smaller to get fish to eat, which brings us back to the rattle baits. This is a very obvious, big, you know, noisy rattle bait. And what I'm going to tell you is if you're ignoring the smaller profile, that's, what is this, a Rapala? I don't even know what it is, but when I used to guide, when I was a kayak fishing guide on the Rappahannock and Shenandoah and Potomac and Susquehanna, when I had a client that wasn't catching anything, I would throw this little guy on there. That being said, I've caught some big fish on this in lakes I've never been in before where they're keying in on that smaller, smaller shad. They're only eating the little stuff. The little stuff, there it is. You know, they're eating the smaller baitfish profile. So I got a handful of those in there. Next size up, which this is still isn't a full size one. Then we got this one, and I wish they still made it. I can't. Whenever I see them, I buy them all. But it's a cotton cordell spot, and it honestly sounds like a baby rattle. But it isn't the sound so much as that this particular bait, for its size, has a very slow sink rate. So you can slow roll a lipless rattle bait. So I like those. Am I going to keep this big shad one in there? Yeah, I still got a little bit of room. Why not? So that's it. There's my crankbait and jerkbait box. Let's see if I can get the lid closed. I will tell you there's more than half again as much still up in that one. I don't think I'm going to get the lid closed. Like, the fear of not having everything you need is, oh, it's real. It's a real challenge. You know what I'm missing? Oh God, I can't not have these. I gotta make room. The Little Johns. These are the best. All right, who's coming out? Any volunteers? No. It's gonna be hard. I'll make it work. I think the hardest thing to remember is that what you need in here is enough for one day on the water. Like, you can have your backup in the truck of, okay, they're eating this and I lost both of them today and chucking it into whitewater. Well, I got more. So how many of these can I lose in a day? I don't know. I'm pretty good at getting them back, so all right. That one's ready. On to jig, bladed jig. Can I get buzzbait and spinnerbait in the same box? I don't know. We'll find out. Before I put it into the new BlackPak Pro, I'm assuming that's what, you know, on this tackle box, what this is for. So I'm gonna write crank. Jerk. I didn't really fit that, did I? Oh well. So bladed jig, brush jig. I don't know if I'll be able to get spinnerbaits in there. We'll see. I'll play around with it. This one doesn't have the dividers, but it has these little slots where you slide the head in there. I think I can get buzzbaits and spinnerbaits in there. Again, only has to be enough for one day. That being said, finesse jigs are their own category for me because I rely on them so much, and this ain't broke. I ain't gonna fix it. This is my finesse jig box, and it's good as is. It goes into the BlackPak just like that. So this, in a way, has become my restocking crankbait, jerkbait box. Like, I need to look at it and say, okay, I'm on a road trip and I'm going through Lucky Craft Pointer 100s. They're in there. All right, let's see what we can do. Kind of stuff we got in here. I think I'm in trouble if I don't have a couple white buzzbaits, maybe some gold ones. Yeah, get out of the way. All right, here's a chartreuse one. So let's line up some buzzbaits. Let's see what else we can get in here. That one's head didn't fit in just about right. 1.25 ounce jackhammer is a great, with the palmetto bugs, is a great deep water presentation. It helps to have some brush jigs. Come back to the buzzbaits. Get a black one for muddy water. I think I can stack these one on top of the other, because I'll see them. I got a few spinnerbaits in here. Got a twin spin. That's a fun one. Yeah. Ooh. Absolutely. The clacker. Clackers, I gotta have one of those. No, I need two of those, and I need one in gold, because it is gold. There's a bluegill one. All right, I'll keep going with this, show you what I end up with at the end, and then we'll figure out how I'm getting all that Z-Man soft plastic in there as well. It's a pretty big box. They do make one that's bigger. This is, I think, the medium-sized one. So they come in 13 by 16. That's what I have. And maybe I really do need the 16 by 16 to get everything in there. But part of me is thinking multiple 13 by 13s would be a good way to go. So I could have, you know, just my smallmouth stuff in there, and have a second one that's just my largemouth stuff, and a third one that's just my striper stuff, or a fourth one that's my inshore, and, you know, that keeps it lightweight. So I'm not always carrying everything for every species in a giant one. We'll see. These don't come out till later. It says available June 6th. I'm excited. I'm going to get multiple 13 by 13s to keep my light load. My load light. You know where I was going with that. When you pack up this much stuff, you know, it's just you don't move as quick. This on the inflatable, sliding in where I got just the right number of jigs, spinnerbaits, jackhammers, topwater soft plastic. That's it. Keep it light, keep it simple. Sounds great in theory. Can I do it? I don't know. I'll find out closer to June 6th. All right, I'm getting this thing pretty full pretty quick. I generally have black ones, the black jackhammers, black blue. I forget what this one's. Let's see, 1/2 ounce. I usually put a palmetto bugs on it. I know there's one in here with it on there. There's this 1 1/4 ouncer. I got a lot that are gold, and these are ones that I buy them in whatever has a gold blade. Let me grab one that actually has the gold blade, because this one does not. I think I turned a green pumpkin one into a custom skirt color that I tie on myself. I got a pile of them, and you know, I like throwing something that no one else has, and it tends to catch me, you know, some good fish. So gold blade, gold skirt that I tied on myself, and then I put a diesel minnow. I'm taking that one off. I like a bigger one, like, well, and then here's the other color that I throw a lot of is this white, but the 5-inch diesel minnow on that is good. I'm gonna trim my line off while I got him out. But yeah, a big profile like that, it's an aggressive presentation. It's noisy, and you come at them with a big profile and a whole lot of noise, and it definitely gets their attention. I'm taking this smaller diesel minnow off and putting that in the trash, because, you know, I'll be hopefully fishing some river smallmouth here in Oklahoma in a few days. I definitely want to throw the jackhammer on them. I also did get some brush jigs in there. You can't tell, but they're in there, so it's good to have some brush jigs. All right, what is next? Z-Man Soft Plastics. That's where things are going to get tight. Let's do it. All right, that's what we're looking at so far. And terminal tackle, finesse jig, crankbait, jerkbait, jackhammer, jigs, buzzbait. I think I'm not getting all the soft plastic in there as well. So I think the D-box is gonna go with me, and on the inflatable or even on the Take 2, I certainly have room for that up front. I can just slap it, you know, right at the end of my feet, pull things out of it as I need to, turn around, grab what I need to out of here. I still got some other things that are like random weird things, like my leader material that goes in there. There's more, but I brought all this stuff up from the truck because I'm actually thinking about doing what I've done to my other BlackPaks, and I think I might actually put like a 90-degree adapter there, and then put the lock and load base on, and then get rod holders pointing back. Maybe a project for another day, but I'm already thinking with all of what, yeah, you can modify with, you know, this lattice of different holes and stuff, and you can drill into this, the cross members, or I don't know, there's a lot that can be put on there. You can put some like webbing across. I don't know if you can see, you know, this whole grid is something that each one of these is a hole that is a strong point that you can drill into and put whatever you want on there. So I think that's part of the plan for the new BlackPak Pro, is that you can customize it and put stuff, you know, all over the outside. You know, the gear track may end up on there. I got some Velcro little tie downs that have the this little clip that I can secure it just with a quick, you know, pinch that and clip it in. That way I don't have to mess with straps. You get the distance on this double-sided Velcro and just get it in there. I got more messing to do with it, for sure. That's why I brought some T-bolts and a sidearm. I don't know. There's my 90. Put that on there. Yeah. Put that right on the side. Then put a lock and load base on there. And then I would have, and this isn't really set up for it, but my horizontal rod storage. We'll see. A lot of stuff that you can do with it. It's awesome that and I read in the brochure, 25% lighter. I knew that as soon as I picked it up. I'm like, that's awesome. It's also got some level of stealth. Close those. In these rubber, and you'd be amazed what kind of noise just shifting that around in your kayak makes. These rubber feet certainly adds to the stealth. It's just, instead of it rocking around in there and hard plastic on hard plastic booming and spooking fish, you know, you got the rubber stoppers there. Attachment points. And we went over rod holders. It's awesome. So I'm happy to get one of the first ones out there. I think this 13 by 16 is shipping soon, and then the 16 by 16 giant will be next, and then a 13 by 13, which I'm personally sort of excited to just have as a quick, simple grab and go type species specific box. So we'll see. But certainly, you know, took a lot of stuff and condensed it into something that's very manageable. Well, two manageable things. All right, one more try. I think I figured it out. The D box is sort of my reserve for all the Z-Man plastics that I think I might need. But then once I get to the water, I say, okay, I'm bringing the jerk shads. I kind of combined, I'm taking all the diesel minnows. And I combined the, not the frog. What did I combine? Oh my gosh. The bat wings and the palmetto bugs. I think I'm done. But the concept is I pick from there and I stock in here, and this sucker is ready to go. Awesome. One other thing, I started the little strap there. So when I get to the shell, I'll hook that into the track on one of my boats. I gotta make one more like that. That's it. BlackPak Pro 13 by 16. We are gonna end with this, just to make sure I don't miss any of the features. The panels for sure have that GridLock that I'm gonna be figuring out what all that's about as I start to rig things on the side. I think that's gonna be something that I'll be able to add, like tackle webs or other mesh type things to the outside, so I can, you know, put things on outer pockets, put my, you know, put the 90-degree adapters and all that kind of stuff. The hinged lid is awesome. Fits the 36 and 37 size boxes. Tank well security. Just, you know, it keeps it quiet with the rubber feet, but keeps your rods from popping out. Keeps those branches from pulling rods out. I've actually watched it happen to a buddy. Fortunately, I said, hey, you left your bait caster up back on that tree. Want to go grab it? Those OmniHooks should help with that. But yeah, these are the sizes. These are the dates when it'll be available. Those are the prices. And what else do we got? Yeah, that's it. I'll have these at the Major League Fishing Expo. If you want to grab them, I got a stack. If not, there it is. Get a good look. See you. I can't stop messing with it. I thought I was done with the video. I've edited the whole video. It's done, and I'm still adding because check that out. I got my GoPro going down, and it's attaching to the side, you know, and it's adjustable. I just took some gear track that I had that was just, you know, there in my truck, and you know, I put the put 2 screws in just with a screwdriver. It anchors into, so basically there's a hole there. It's almost like a pilot hole, but it comes out the other side, and it's this strong point here. So it was, I didn't even have a drill, so I didn't need a drill. I just stuck it on there, and check it out. GoPro's ready for some pretty cool angles. That's what I wanted. Yeah, I'll get the 90 on there eventually, and get the rod holders pointing back, but that's a start. Very cool. This thing's awesome. Strap it down with these. It just, I don't know, man, there's just so much riggability here.